So this is the vocal chain in its in all its glory. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plugins. I do have some mastering to it, which I will show you later in this in today's vlog. So I'm just going to turn this off, and I'm going to turn off also the other plugins, just to get you an idea of what it sounds without what it sounds with the plugins. And I want to remind you that if you want me to get this vocal chain to work for you, for your vocals, meaning you send me your vocals, meaning that we work together, you know what I'm saying, you send me your stuff, and I make sure to use the vocal chain and apply to your vocals, and that takes time. This is why y'all have to hire me, and this is why I have a link in the description for that. So this is what it sounds without. You can't even hear the vocals, and this is with. This is without the mastering. This is with.
I watch the pain without me. Shit for me, having a god bottle, I'm over that planet.
This is a hit. This is a hit. I did it in 10 minutes. It sounds like a hit. You can share it on the biggest platforms and be proud of what you do. Now imagine doing this, learning how to do this, and do these constantly every week. If you want to be part of our Patreon family, we give away these vocal chains on a weekly basis, meaning every week we give a vocal chain and give you way more private content. So if you want to take advantage of this vocal chain and get it for yourself and then learn how to do it without hiring me to do it for you, you can become a Patreon. Shout out to all the Patreon and the growing family of Patreons, and you can grab this yours. Alright, so the first thing that you see in the vocal chain, obviously, is the basic stuff, what we gotta do all the time, which is pitch correction, de-essing, noise gating. This is basically my pitch correction, this is my de-essing, and this is my noise gate. That's literally it. Now on top of that, differently from what we had last week, it's some two channel EQs that are pretty different compared to what we did last week. And before we get into the channel EQ, I just want to welcome you. If you're new to the family, you obviously could pretend that you care about the work that we put for these videos, for these vlogs, and using the subscribe feature and the like feature. With that being said, this is the basic channel EQ. So it's really taking all the bad frequencies out, and I'm boosting around 1000 hertz just to get that presence to stand in the mix. Now on top of that, I just have this this other channel EQ, which is pretty nice. I just found a good frequency. I just wanted to make sure that you know, those frequencies being present in the mixer. That's really personal. This is why I'm saying, if you hire me, I'll do it for you. That's gonna be up to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna have them to find what sounds good to me, and you know, take that out and make sure that it stands out in the mix. All right, so that's channel EQ. On top of that, we got some compression. So we clean up the vocals to make sure that it's in tune. We removed all the bad frequencies and shit like that. And now we got compression. Now I'm not gonna go into details because that's plenty of content on YouTube. You can watch yourself, learn how to do this. But if you are a patron and you got this vocal chain, like, there's not really a lot that you need to do besides making sure that you go to -5 with this threshold, which I'm actually making up for in the makeup gain. And for this one, you want to go all the way to 12. so you want to compress the shit out of it with the second compressor, just because this is what you do, especially if it's hip hop, especially if it's rap. You know what I'm saying? That's compression. What else? I did some more EQ just because I compressed the shit out of it. I just wanted to make sure that I had way more air to the vocals. That's channel EQ, and on top of it, I use some console EQ. Now this is the best. I think the best plugin the Logic right now has. It's really interesting to see how well you can EQ your vocals or somebody else's vocals just by using your feelings as opposed to use your kind of your eyes. Because if you use a normal channel EQ, you really get into it's harder just because you see frequencies. So your eyes dictate your decisions. You know what I'm saying? So with the vintage console EQ, you can't do that. You really need to use your ears. And these are my presets, which if you're a patron will work fine for you. Meaning if you have the channel, you know what I'm saying, if you have the channel strip, that's not a lot you must do too. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, if you're starting from scratch, you can take a look at it, but make sure that they work based on the previous work that you did. You know what I'm saying? Now, because I have all these plugins on top of it, obviously this console, this channel EQ, it makes sense. But if you don't have all those plugins, like, it's a whole different story. But again, man, if you want me to use this channel EQ and work and make it work for your vocal, holla at your boy. That's a link. You just go ahead. Hire me and I'll do that for you. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty simple. Now, on top of it, what we got? Some more de-essing, because especially me, because I don't do this like as I wish. I have a lot of S's. So besides, the English is not even my first language, so I tend to have more S's than I should. You know what I'm saying? So now that I have all these frequencies cleaned up and shit, I make sure to have one more de-essing working for my vocals, for my S's. And that's my preset basically. And now the magic to it really comes to the buses, of course, as you should know by now. On the first one, I got some chrome reverb just to give the vocal more space, more air. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously, of course, getting all those low frequencies and low high frequencies out of the verb. On bus 2, what I got on bus 2 was that it's just a different type of one. It's a longer one, meaning that it takes the vocal just longer. I don't even know how to explain that, but it's really subtle, but it's there. Now, when it comes to vocal mixing, as anything in life, of course, subtle changes are really, really important. You know what I'm saying? It really made the difference, especially when we apply the master bus to it. And then on bus number 2, I have the basic idea of just pitch shifting your vocals, 3 semitones, to the left, to the right, and make sure that it kind of gives that background, the kind of doubling effect, even if you don't record your vocals a second time. You know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much, that's all it is to it at the end of the day. All right. Now, for the master bus, have this mastering chain I use for this. I don't want to walk you through this. Maybe I'll do in another separate video or whatever, in another separate vlog. But if you're a patron, you will have access to this.